All good things must come to an end. We've made it to the NASCAR Cup Series season finale at Phoenix. I am joined for the final time this year by WinTheRace.info's Ryan Stevens, ready to break down the Championship Four, one of the most wide open Championship Fours in recent memory. Now remember, Ryan, spring Phoenix, different time of the year, different tire combination. Remember, they had two different tire combos. There was an option tire in that race, potentially different weather. We know there will be a new tire compound this weekend. We saw it most recently at Martinsville, New Hampshire. Let's go one at a time. I want to start with the only Cup Series champion in the group, Kyle Larson. He won the title 4 years ago. This is his third championship appearance. He's finished top 5 in 4 of the last 5 Phoenix races. We'll start with Larson. What is the outlook for Kyle Larson this weekend at Phoenix, in your opinion, Ryan?
Very strong here. In the 6 races in this package this year, too, he's behind only Ryan Blaney and William Byron in true average running position. I have him 6th best in true performance scores in this package. He hasn't really been a winning car, but he does have top 5 finishes in half those races. And it does seem like it's been a while since we've seen Larson with race winning speed. But he does have 3 top 5s in the 4 October races, including 2 runner-up finishes. And the only race he didn't top 5 was when he could have won Talladega and ran out of gas. So he's like quietly or sneakily hot right now and just needs to find the right speed and balance this week to get it done. Another cool thing about Larson, 4 tire pit stops going to be important this week. He's number 1 and 4 tire stops on Win the Race. And again, we bring in, a little bit of the driver because we use pit road time. So it's a little different to how some people do it. But I think that speaks a lot to Kyle Larson and his talent. So yeah, he's one of the favorites this week, obviously. And I really like Larson's chances.
I don't know if the roster is remotely the same, but remember in 2021, Kyle Larson won the championship essentially on pit road with a rapid fire, fast 4-tire pit stop. Also had that first pit stall advantage, which if I recall, NASCAR has taken away some of that advantage at Phoenix now. So pit stall location won't be quite as important, but still important. Larson has not won a race since May, but I'm with you. He has been a lot faster in recent weeks than a lot of fans are willing to give him credit for. Let's go to his teammate, William Byron. William Byron trying to break the video game cover curse. He was this year's NASCAR 25 cover athlete. If you believe in like the Madden curse, this may be the NASCAR equivalent. He's not showing any signs of being cursed thus far, just made his 3rd straight Championship 4 appearance. He has an 8th place average finish at Phoenix in the next gen car, which I believe is the best of the remaining playoff drivers. He's also led more laps here in that span than any of the other championship drivers. What do you think about William Byron? Where does he stack up in your early metrics?
Yeah, you mentioned this Champ 4 being kind of wide open, and I love Byron's chances of getting it done Sunday as well. All the stats you just mentioned, if we look at 2025 specifically in this package, 2 wins in those 6 races. Only Blaney has a better true performance score and average running position on Win the Race. Of the Championship 4, he's behind only Larson in those 4 tire pit stops I mentioned. And the qualifying, worst qualifying position of 8 in the Gen 7 Phoenix races. So if he qualifies well, and after everything we just said about his stats and data, it's hard to see him losing spots on Sunday.
It's already been a successful season for Chase Briscoe. Moving on to Team Toyota now. He has 3 wins, 800 plus laps led. He's in the championship for his first year with the team. His first career win came at Phoenix in the spring of 2022. A lot has changed since then. He's got a new logo on the hood of his race car, completely new team. His former team doesn't technically exist anymore. In the springtime, Briscoe DNF'd, got squeezed on a restart, caught up in a crash. Hard to read anything into that race. So, Ryan, do you think Chase Briscoe can cap off his dream JGR season with his first career title?
Well, according to the 2025 numbers in this package specifically, he's got some work to do on Sunday. He's the only driver in this group who doesn't have multiple top 5 finishes in this package, but he hasn't been bad. He's been 8th best in true average running position. But the difference is the other Championship 4 drivers are 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in that true average running position in this package. So he has his work cut out for him. His best qualifying effort we've seen in this package was the 9th at Martinsville that he just had. And there's one thing to note with Briscoe. If they show up fast, he should be fast and be fine. He has 15 top fives this year, as we've talked about before. He's qualified top six in 13 of those 15 races. So it seems really important for them to bring a fast car off the truck, qualify well, and run up front. I think, if he brings the speed, he has it during the race. So that's something I'm going to be watching is how Briscoe practices and qualifies.
That's a really good stat. Qualifying, very important for Briscoe's finishing position this year. But like you said, at the short track, in the short track package, qualifying has been a bit inconsistent. He's had an extra week than most to prepare. We'll see if that made a difference. Denny Hamlin, is it finally Denny's year? He had 2 extra weeks to focus solely on the Phoenix Championship. This is his first Championship 4 appearance since 2021, but it's his 5th appearance total, which is more than any other drivers in this year's Championship 4. He hasn't won a race at Phoenix since way back in 2019 when I think they still had the giant spoiler on the back. But Hamlin did finish second in the spring, if that's worth anything. So, Ryan, I'll turn it to you. Could this be Denny's year? Are you all in on the 11?
And my heart really wants Denny to get this done. Just been a fan for a long time of Denny. But it's been a rough stretch in this package for him recently. And he mentioned that how at New Hampshire, he said he was never really a threat. He also wasn't a threat at Richmond or Iowa either, the other 2 most recent, short track package races. His numbers in this package aren't bad, but a lot of that's pumped up by the Martinsville races. So, this is a different style track. I can only imagine the amount of questions this team has asked Christopher Bell in these few weeks since he knew he was locked in, because that's one team that can bring an absolute rocket to this racetrack. And perhaps Denny's been picking his brain, especially now over this last, since Sunday, this week specifically, now that he knows Bell's not in it. What kind of tips can him and Briscoe get from Bell here in that 20 team? So we'll see what happens. Again, I think like Briscoe, though, he's got his work cut out for him, but I'm pulling for him.
Yeah, so I guess we have to pick one. And, you keep referencing that New Hampshire race a few weeks ago, same aero package, same tire that we'll see at Phoenix, also a 1-mile track. Byron finished 3rd, Larson was 7th, Briscoe 10th, Hamlin 12th. Denny Hamlin, like you said, little off Toyota, a little off that day. Have they figured anything out since then? But I think it's also, and you mentioned this, it's interesting that probably the 3 best drivers at Phoenix, Blaney, Logano, Bell, not in championship contention. So that's what makes this so wide open. Kyle Larson looks to join Kyle Busch and Joey Logano as the only active multi-time Cup Series champions. William Byron looks to officially announce his superstar arrival. Chase Briscoe's been an underdog so much of his career. Can he step up in the clutch once again? And Denny Hamlin, we know his days in the NASCAR Cup Series are numbered, essentially. Could the greatest driver without a championship finally tick that box? Ryan, it all comes down to this. Who is your Cup Series championship pick?
Well, my gut, just feels like it's been his year and his time right now, and all the data is telling me I think William Byron gets done. Recently, last week, winning to get in at Martinsville, and then throwing in that move at the end too, just super aggressive. I don't think many people thought he had that in him. He did. He went and got it. He never left the top 3 in any stage or the race at New Hampshire. We talked about that race too recently.
Great point.
And he only got beat in that race by guys who aren't in the championship 4, some guys that you mentioned earlier. He's red hot in this package, awesome at Phoenix. I think Byron can get it done. My heart, though, wants Denny Hamlin. So this is what I think versus what I want to see happen. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun on Sunday.
I think our brains are kind of in the same place here. I root for storylines, and with everything Denny Hamlin has dealt with on and off track this year, him breaking through to win would be awesome. But that's no disrespect to William Byron. William Byron has been this close to winning the championship the past few seasons. He's a superstar in the making. This would be a huge moment if he can get it done. I'm with you. I think the numbers, the recent results certainly favor William Byron entering the weekend. But we'll wrap up with this, Ryan. All this playoff talk, it is championship weekend, but we've seen non-championship drivers win this race before. Ross Chastain a couple of years ago spoiled the party. So, I imagine Blaney and Logano, even Christopher Bell, like I mentioned, will probably run inside the top 5 for a good portion of the day. So, do you have an eye on a dark horse, someone who could win this race who's not in the championship fight?
But yeah, it's actually a driver who was in the playoffs this year, which feels like forever ago now, and that'd be Josh Berry.
Oh,
He's been on a good run in this package in 2025. Just top 10 finished at Martinsville, second at New Hampshire, eighth at Richmond. If we go back to Phoenix, he started fourth, finished fourth, top 10 both stages. So he never left running up front. Um, the ninth best true performance score and seventh best average finish in this package in 2025. You had said it. Penske owns these fall Phoenix races. Barry is that Penske alliance. I could see someone showing up and running real fast here, and that guy would be Barry. If there's going to be a shocker that's outside this championship four or Logano, Bell, Blaney, yeah, give me Josh Berry for a longer shot here.
that's a great, great pick, and someone who wasn't even on my radar, but now I'm embarrassed to admit that. That's a really, really good dark horse pick. Ryan Stevens, thank you so much, as always, for joining us. It's been a fun year, a lot of fun results as well. I know this week, you and your friends Phil and Tino are doing the final episode of The Draft with a guest on the show. Fans who may not have been able to catch it live last night can still tune in and watch the replay, and I know you guys are bringing that back next year. But Ryan, can you tell folks a little more about what you do at wintherace.info, where else people can find you and your work?
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on all season. These have been a lot of fun, super helpful too, even for our own process to win the race and going through all the drivers. So I hope it's helped everyone that's listened. But yeah, we just do a lot of stats, data, deep dives, things like that. But if you're playing, fantasy, playing DFS, you're betting, or you just like to dive into the stats and geek out on everything, we have everything at Win the Race. Discord's really cool because it's a lot of like-minded NASCAR fans that go in there and talk about everything. We have every sport in there too. People have become friends. They've seen each other at races. It's really cool to see the Discord community Win the Race kind of interact with one another. So it's just a lot of fun. But if you're looking for a cool NASCAR community, wintherace.info would be it.
Absolutely. Link is down in the description as always. Ryan, great having you on this year, and enjoy the off season. You and I, of course, will be chatting during the off season, but we'll have you back on the show in the new year, ready to kick off 2026. Thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun, and good luck this weekend, everyone.